Coming up this week on Two Noobs, the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl after beating a team owned by the Sixers owner, and now the Eagles owner wants to buy the Celtics. I feel very conflicted and confused about all this. Next, in our Society is Going to Hell segment, a former teacher of the year in Florida is in hot water after throwing a kegger for 100 teens. Whoops. Then a French AI chatbot gets shut down for, surprise, surprise, giving wackadoodle answers to basic questions. Maybe I should get a job as an AI chatbot. And we conclude with some Super Bowel trivia. Does anyone edit these things before we go live? Stat the Mazik. I'd like to welcome you into episode 227 of Too Noobs Talk. Two Noobs Talking. We are the podcast that puts the itch in pitch clock. Thank you for that.
I'm here all night, that kind of a deal. So,
we are recording on Groundhog Day.
Oh, is that the whole PETA want to change it to Gold Coin Day or whatever?
Oh, we've got a new one.
Oh,
yeah,
I
heard there's beef between communities now.
Well, Josh Shapiro, who I'd like to give a thumbs up to on this one, basically told them, PETA said, you need to release Punxsutawney Phil, and in exchange, we'll give you this vegan weather reveal cake.
Nice.
And Shapiro was like, if you want him, come and get him.
Nice. Yes.
There you go.
Good for
him.
Good for him. But Mr. Fake News Craig, we got a comment on last week's episode.
Hey, all I got to say is you could trust me for telling you the truth. Right, Glenn? Right, Glenn? Right, Glenn?
I wasn't brought up because I thought Dez caught it. So it cancels it out because I thought both of them were a catch. He's gonna let me know because I'm not sure.
I think he just has beef with Matt. That's
possible. It's possible.
I don't know why he would call me fake news. I tell the truth.
I don't know.
Glenn.
It was funny that it was awesome to wake up to and read that like first thing in the morning. Thanks, Glenn, man. You made my day.
Well, now I have a question though.
Yeah.
And this is more about the YouTube thing. When I looked at the video and saw his comment, it said 2 comments. Yet I only saw 1.
Well,
I threw an FU and then deleted it. That's what happened. That's exactly what I thought.
What happened was he commented, then my comment underneath it totaled 2. So there were 2 comments made.
I didn't see your comment underneath it.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
Because
I expected it was you who commented back.
Yeah.
But, I looked around everywhere, up, down, sideways, tried clicking links.
Nothing.
Downloaded a virus and
probably planted by Glenn of all people. Probably. Fake news. Get out of here.
It totally was a catch, so screw you. He's just mad because of what's going to happen this weekend.
Oh, yes. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. There we go.
John's phone has a message. Speaking of John,
it's Jalen Hurts saying, don't talk about that.
All right, let me introduce people over here. We got over that side, that's Jogger John Tracy. Jeez, you've never jogged a day in your life.
Nope.
Over there, that's Misleading Matt Craig.
You can trust me, Glenn. You can trust me, pal.
In the middle, I am Soggy Bottom Steve Murray. Don't read it.
Dave ointments for that.
Wasn't the ointment just going to make it more soggy?
I don't know.
Geez. All right. Before we get to our fun fact and all that fun stuff, just wanted to bring it down a second because we had terrible tragedy here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, a plane carrying a child who had come to get treatment at Shriners Hospital for a life-threatening condition was on its way back, and 6 people crashed into Cotman Avenue at Roosevelt Mall.
Yeah.
It's a place I think we're all probably familiar
Extremely.
Oh
familiar
yeah,
with.
very much. Yeah.
My kids live very close to that.
Not far from the old armory that my dad was serving as National Guard colonel, actually, just down the road. So I'm very familiar with that whole area, Cotton
with. Yeah,
area.
very, very scary. I saw the notifications coming in as I was at my son's game and just couldn't. It looked like a missile coming down.
Yeah,
out of the sky.
45-degree angle or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Awful.
And the Ring doorbell cameras capturing it were frightening.
Oh yeah.
So we just wanted to give our Two Noobs thoughts and prayers to the families in the community of all those who are affected by this, and hopefully we can find out what the problem that caused it and can prevent it from happening again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but now,
Yes.
may we continue with this confirmation hearing. Now, Mr. Tracy, this committee is convened to evaluate your fitness to be named Undersecretary of the Noobs. In that role, do you promise to root out and extinguish all evil in podcasting?
Kiss my ass.
Well, I don't really care what your answer is. I only asked the question to get a clip of myself on the social medias. The fact is, my mind was made up for me by my party before you ever nominated. So,
Yes, sir, it was.
Oh goodness.
By the way, trust the science, even though sometimes it's wrong.
Exactly.
That's probably the best one I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's established. So why can't you just leave it alone? It's established.
My favorite RFK one was when he asked him if he was a conspiracy theorist, and he literally said 3 conspiracies that he said that they called him a conspiracy thing on, then explained how he was right in the conspiracy theory, and he looked right back at him and goes, I can do this all day. And he was like, I yield my time. Like, he just...
That's amazing.
I was... Good job. You're Kennedy. You know how to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Dubby Energy Fun Fact brought to you by Dubby Energy Drinks. Visit Dubby at dubby.gg or download their app. Use our promo code 2noobstalking. It's TOONOO talking. You get 10% off your order. Dubby has partnered with Odabach, who to bring you a restore potion. I don't know. But they're bringing you a Restore Potion. That's the name of the drink this time. Okay, I got it this week.
There you go.
It is a tasty red drink providing the flavor of super tart fruity candy.
Ooh.
Yummy.
Sounds good. You save $4 off a $40 tub with our promo code. So we're involved somehow.
That's right. Yes.
Matt has the fun fact.
I do. Right? Yes, I do.
All right.
This ought to be fun for the guy who called me fake news this last week. Gentlemen, as you know,
bag of tricks.
We have an NFC championship team going down to New Orleans. It's always been a dream of mine for the Eagles to go down to New Orleans to hopefully win a Super Bowl. That'd be great.
That's awfully specific.
Well,
winning a Super Bowl, not just winning a Super Bowl, but doing it in
New Orleans because it is
reason.
a part. Well, there's a couple reasons. One, it's a party city, and two, it's home of some of the most legendary Super Bowls of all time. You know, that kind of deal. I hope this one lives up to the billing. And I hope we come out on top. Yeah. The Eagles, of course, in that NFC Championship game against the Washington Redskins, scored 7 rushing touchdowns. Pretty damn good, right? I mean, that was amazing.
I lost count, but yeah, that's amazing.
7. Did you know, gentlemen, that the Dallas Cowboys had 6 touchdowns rushing the entire year?
I did, in fact, know that.
6 touchdowns rushing in the entire year. That is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a fun fact.
The coach
Glenn.
He quit. Jerry Jones. Oh, speaking of Jerry Jones, did he also take over the Dallas Mavericks?
Oh,
did he?
He probably did, moving Luka Doncic over to the LA Lakers.
For Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that today.
Oh, you didn't see that?
Oh my gosh, John.
They traded Doncic for Anthony Davis, and I'm like, what are you, stupid?
Yes. Answer yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. So that's your W Energy Drink fun fact of the week, Glenn.
He's
you
probably
enjoyed
gonna
it.
look it up and find some.
It's probably gonna be
Russian
like
touchdown.
some, yeah. It'll probably whine and complain and say, "Oh, it's bad."
Technically, it was 7, but it was called back
Back
for
with
holding.
a holding.
And holding doesn't count because of X, Y, or Z. Yeah.
There's holding on every play, so it should have just been let go.
Yeah. And the Eagles did score 7 rushing touchdowns. It was more like a tush push, which would be banned in the NFL. That kind of a deal.
Somebody ought to tell the Buffalo Bills how to run it, because
Yeah, that's bad.
Isn't that
That's
bad?
really bad. That's really bad.
Like Josh Allen is 6'5". You can't just jump over? Like, I don't understand that.
Well, he tried that one time, but it didn't work out
It
well.
didn't work out. Jeez.
That game was ugly.
Yeah.
he doesn't have the ups.
No, guess not.
All right, so John, you have the over 40. I don't know where you're
Yes.
going with this because you've been zigzagging on us. It all
Yes.
depended on packages arriving at certain times,
Yes,
and I
yes.
don't know. So go.
I
for it.
settled when I need it. I'm okay. It's eBay. What the hell? And I'm not mad, but you would be if you were in my position. So I've decided to take up collecting certain things, and eBay is a great place to do that. But every time I seem to purchase something, I get an email the next morning asking me if I would like to review other items that I just bought. And this has been going on for 2 weeks. So I purchased something late at night and I go, oh, cool, I'm going to get that for my collection. And then I wake up in the morning and I have an email that says, hey, would you like this item, the one I just bought?
Mm-hmm.
And it's normally at a higher price. That's what's starting to piss me off.
Naturally. Yeah.
So this isn't my whole thing. So I decided a couple days ago I was going to go into the preferences and I was like, I'll just turn off all the emails. Who cares if they're trying to sell me something? I'll just turn them off because that's right to my life. I can turn off the notifications.
Sure.
It's been down. You can't click on it. It tells you there's an error. Come back later.
Oh.
So I swipe out of the app. I go back. I go in. Error. Come back later. This has been a while now, and I'm really getting upset now because you locked me out of that. So now I'm just in straight eBay torture. So if I purchase something, I'm gonna get tortured, and I know it, and it's not stopping me.
Oh.
Just fix your app.
Yeah.
People spend billions of dollars on this thing. Just fix it. It's awful.
I don't think I bought anything on eBay since like 2002.
Yeah,
It is absolutely the place if you want to buy wrestling figures that are obscure only to what you want.
You go
It's
there.
the best place on earth to find it.
Interesting. Not Amazon, eBay.
No, Amazon overcharges you and doesn't have half the shit that you would think you would need.
Would have not called that. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, me neither. Although now I'm wondering, I got my son for Christmas a couple years ago the old school Florida Panthers jersey.
Yeah.
The leaping.
Panther.
Yeah, the real Panther.
Yeah.
And I had to. They weren't selling it on like NHL.com or anything, so I had to get it from somebody who had one and was selling it.
Huh.
I can't remember. I don't think it was on eBay because I didn't get like 10 eBay emails like, "Hey, review your purchase.
Oh,
Would you like to
interesting.
buy this
Yeah.
Florida Panthers
Would you
jersey?"
like to
even though
buy
you
this
just bought
Florida-
one?"
Yeah, you just have one, man. You just
Right.
show it to you again. Hey, you like this Bray Wyatt? You just bought one. Looks just like him. You want 2 of them?
That's what's. I could understand an email that's like, "Hey, we noticed you bought this. So maybe we suggest these."
This is my gripe.
Instead, it's you just bought a washing machine. Would you like to buy a washing machine?
That is my whole point. Why I'm so frustrated because I would buy it.
Yeah.
If you would do the legwork for me, bro, I would spend way more money than I am. But you keep showing me the same thing I just bought.
Yeah.
Like you can't just show me the next like you bought whatever 111. You want to buy 110? I'd probably buy it. I'd probably go, oh, I didn't have that one. I'll just get that one. But if you keep showing me 111, I'm not buying it again. I'm not stupid.
Hear that? John's got a shopping addiction.
Oh, it's big time. It's crazy.
Doing
It's my
your
wife.
right.
It's my wife's
some
fault.
money.
It's my wife's fault. She said I could.
All right.
I'm glad you have permission, John. That's great.
She gave me permission. Now it's on. And I do want to thank for walking in here and going, you don't have all the puppets for the Firefly Funhouse. And I went, what does that mean? She goes, you don't have all the puppets for the Firefly Funhouse. And I said, well, that's another like $50 and it's another figure, but I already have this figure. And she goes, you don't have all the puppets for Firefly Funhouse. I was like, fucking, I'm buying it. At this point, like, I can't get away from that.
Steve, what kind of Godzillas do you not have now? I mean, considering that you have practically the entire universe, right?
I have a lot, not all of them, but I have a lot, and I actually can one-up John. My wife didn't give me permission; she just goes and buys them.
Nice.
So
I'll get her on that.
It's not an argument. It's not an argument at all. She just knuckles under, and that's pretty much
every
it. Yeah.
birthday, every Christmas, it's like,
Nice.
here's another Godzilla for you. I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but okay.
Okay.
It goes to-
Well, let's keep her.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, goodness.
Okay, speaking of buying things, let's go on to topic 1, shall we?
Let's do it.
We got buyers run amok here.
Hmm.
Don't have an article for this, but NFC Championship game was last weekend for us, not for you people, but for us.
Yes.
It was. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yes, not Commanders.
The Commanders, who were defeated soundly in that championship game,
Like that.
That was an ass whooping. They
Oh, yeah.
deserved
nice
it.
of it, are owned by. He's part of a group. It's not
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, it's a
part of-
conglomeration of
And he's
conglomerate.
ugly and we don't like
frauds
him.
and no kidding.
The Commanders, if you don't know, are owned by Josh Harris. If that name sounds familiar to you in Sixerland, it's because he owns the Sixers. And if it sounds familiar to you in North Jersey, it's because he also owns the New Jersey Devils, the NHL hockey franchise. So he owns 3 franchises in 3 different markets.
Mhm.
Go figure.
Yeah.
More interestingly, it then came to light after the NFC Championship game. I should say one more thing about Josh Harris. So after the Eagles won the NFC Championship game,
Woo!
several of the other cities' franchises took to Twitter. I refuse to call it X. They took to Twitter to congratulate the Eagles on victory.
That's
The-
what you're supposed to do.
That's
the
right.
Phillies did so. The Flyers did so. The Union did so.
Oh, there you go.
But conspicuously missing was the NBA franchise of the city. Where were they at?
What? I don't know.
And one wonders, we did have an article, but it was more an opinion piece, and
Mhm.
we don't know how much to trust it, suggesting that it was Josh Harris's idea not for the Sixers to not congratulate
Oh,
the Eagles
really?
on their victory. But then it came out. Jeffrey Lurie, who is the owner of said Eagles, is also in the market for an NBA team
Oh, no.
and is in the market specifically for an NBA team from where he came from, which happens to be New England, and would be the Boston Celtics.
Oh, gosh.
So I think we wanted to discuss, is it really a good idea for somebody to own different franchises in different markets, and specifically in markets which are, let's say, natural geographical rivals?
That's a good point.
I'll go to fake news Craig first.
For the last
I don't know.
time.
What do you think?
I would say no. To be perfectly honest, I when I heard the fact that Lurie was interested in buying the Boston Celtics, I knew always when he first became owner of the Eagles, his dream was to be the owner of the Patriots, basically. And the Patriots back in the early 90s were god awful. So I mean, who knows what would have happened? I mean, probably the same thing would have happened. They probably would have won multiple Super Bowls. Who knows? But Kraft ended up buying it, and the rest, as they say, is history. But what makes Lurie so wonderful is the fact that he is fully invested in the Philadelphia Eagles. Like this is his baby. He has turned this franchise that was literally like on kind of the basement of the NFL, essentially. Like they had a great defense, but their offense outside of Randall was trash. They had an awful stadium. They had an awful front office, absolutely awful. They had an owner, Norman Brayman, who we all grew up with, who really couldn't care less. He was practically in France most of the time, if I remember right.
You're correct.
And was more interested in selling wine than he was managing a football team. So for him to sell it, and basically give it to Lurie for $185 million in 1995, it was like, okay, well, we got a new owner. That's wonderful. We got somebody that's new. And Lurie has just taken this team and it's skyrocketed. It's like one of the best teams in the NFL. 3rd Super Bowl appearance in 8 years. Glenn. While coincidentally, the Dallas Cowboys haven't even sniffed an NFC Championship game in 30 years. Glenn.
How's that Brian Schottenheimer hire working out for you?
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's done it
Skinny Mike McCarthy?
But here's the thing of it is, like, the singular focus has been great. I think what makes Harris not very trustworthy right now is that the group is all over the place. Up and down the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Sixers really need that rock solid owner, I think, to kind of reset the entire franchise and say, hey, look, listen, we're not going anywhere. We need to really invest in this team and not have somebody dabble up in New Jersey to see if he can win a Stanley Cup down there. And oh, by the way, maybe we'll go to the Washington Commanders and see if we can win a Super Bowl down there. Like, I don't know what the whole business plan there is. That would be my question while I'm drawing out. But I yield the rest of my time.
Well, you're certainly right. I mean, the Sixers and Devils, their seasons entirely overlap.
Yeah.
I mean, they start like October, November-ish and end, regular season in April and playoffs into June. So they entirely overlap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they also mostly overlap with the NFL season as well.
Mm-hmm.
So divided attention for sure. I've seen Josh Harris courtside at Sixer games. I don't know what he does for Devils games. He certainly was in Philadelphia for the Commanders NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God he didn't get to go to the podium.
Oh, yeah.
Take the trophy.
Can you imagine that? Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been bad. All right, John, conflict of interest here? Lurie trying to buy the Celtics.
That's weird.
With this?
just buy the Sixers and make them good.
Yeah.
And I disagree with divided attention to Josh Harris. It doesn't look like he's doing anything at all. Since he's bought the Devils, since he's bought the Sixers and the Commanders. It seems like the coach was the Commanders' issue because they had players. So I think, and I thought, hey, that was the GM. He hired the right coach at the right time, and they look, like they're up and coming. But I don't think it had anything to do with him. I think he just bought up another franchise.
We can at least give him credit that he has taken what Dan Snyder completely botched for 20-some years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like saying
low bar, I know.
Yeah, that's a really low bar. Like, that's a really low bar. Like,
yeah.
Well, you were saying my
it's just I'm totally against owners, and this is even not in sports. This goes everywhere. Like, when there's a conflict of interest, and fandom is a conflict of interest, because mostly in every city I've ever been in, if they've got 3 or 4 teams, the person is normally a fan of all 3 or 4 teams. So I really don't like Josh Harris owning the Devils. I don't like him owning the Commanders. If he's going to own the Sixers, I'd rather him leave the Sixers and own the other 2. I don't care about that because I think he's terrible anyway. But I wouldn't want Lurie to do it. I just don't think it. I think a part of what we grew up with sports is the civic pride, and they're our team, they're our town. That's like the Sixers motto. Like, the Sixers our team, our town, but our owner owns, the Puxatawny whatevers.
Yeah. Well, it showed in the fact that the Sixers didn't do anything to congratulate the Eagles on the win. And we all know what the
Eventually
they did. Yeah.
They had them ring the bell at the Sixers-Lakers game, but I wonder, one, that may have been from fan blowback.
That's definitely fan pressure.
They may have just been there anyway, and it's like, oh, you can ring the bell. You're here.
Yeah, you're here. Yeah.
But there's a social media problem with the Sixers. If the Phillies congratulate and Bryce Harper's on TikTok congratulating at the exact same time. That's an organization that's run properly.
Oh yeah.
To know that you need to do X and Y and Z. And the Flyers were out. I think they were the first ones out that I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. The Phillies have done things always so well. Like, it doesn't matter
so
what
the
team it
Flyers.
is.
They have good social media also.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I agree.
Well, now that Hilferty's taken over. But,
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I'm curious what you would think. Let's say Lurie went out and wanted to buy the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs.
No.
Is it because he wants to buy the Celtics specifically? Is it because Harris owns the Commanders? Or do you just not want your owner buying anywhere else?
I just don't think it's because you're not in your own market. You're not the whole point of buying a franchise like that is to invest into the city, invest into yourself, invest into the community.
Yeah.
That's what I disagree with, is because the Eagles should be in the community, the Flyers should be in the community, the Sixers should be in the community. You shouldn't be worried about, oh, well, we got an owner that owns the Devils, owns the Sixers, and owns the Commanders. Like, it would feel like he didn't care about the city.
Yeah.
More so that the sports doesn't really, like, the fandom is one thing, but also, like, are you really putting 100% of your effort in? Because what if you find a better cause in Boston, and then you're allocating all your money over there, and like you're hurting the city more than you are.
That is such a great point, John. Essentially, what you're saying is your attention is divided into thirds. One third there, one third there, one third there. And my fear is that if Lurie does decide to buy the Boston Celtics, all of a sudden you've gone from 100% total ownership of the Eagles, investing in the community, all that stuff, and now all of a sudden your owner is up in Boston, like essentially like 4 hours away by car.
Yeah, but doing the same thing.
But doing the same thing up in Boston than he is in Philadelphia. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, what the heck's going on up there?
Well, I think John makes an even better point, which is it's not just attention being divided, it's financial resources.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So you were putting 100% of the available financial resources into the Philadelphia community.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're Philadelphia and Boston. As rich as Lurie is, there's still a finite amount of resources.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm not saying that he shouldn't, divide his resources, but think about just who was the guard with the eyeglasses where they had the mobile eye thing, and they had the Eagles did the book drive the 1 year. Like, he's always put this beautiful thing out in the community. Would that go away?
I wonder if that was Sean Andrews.
I don't know that it was.
It was early Andy Reid.
Yeah,
the guy that was half blind. I can't remember his name.
Oh my!
Someone is shouting at the screen right now.
I don't know that it would go away, but it may be reduced.
And that's what scares me. That's what scares me.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, I don't want Mr. Lurie to invest any more capital into or to buy the Boston Celtics is what I'm saying. I just don't think what he has done, I cannot emphasize it enough. What he has done with the Eagles is something that's like it's been totally unprecedented in this city in quite some time. I never even thought as a 7 or 8 year old that even the Eagles would even make a Super Bowl in my lifetime. You guys remember how bad it was back in the 80s and early 90s.
Oh, yes.
It was really bad. It was like, you were lucky to... I can remember even reading articles in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Oh, boy, and like the whole thing, like in 92 when the Eagles were playing against the Saints in the Superdome against Bobby Hebert, and the whole article was written about like how important it is for them to study tape and all that kind of stuff. And we're so determined to win one wild card game. And then I'm thinking, well, that's great. Then you're on the divisional round. Then what, right? It's not, you just don't stop at the wild card round, boys. You got to keep going.
That was a hell of a game, though.
It was.
Yeah,
it was. They pulled it off, and everybody was like, well, that's great. Rich Kotite won a playoff game for the first time in like, it must have been over a dozen years. And then it was like, well, we're never going to go to the NFC Championship game. Forget it. Like, there was no shot of that happening.
Yeah.
And here's Lurie, and we're going to multiple NFC title games, and we're going to multiple Super Bowls now. It's ridiculous. It's wonderful. Obviously, it's joyful to do this. But yeah, that took 100% investment is my point in him to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my fear is if he goes and buys the Celtics, it's like, oh, great. Then what? You know?
I know they're the reigning NBA champions, but think about what he would do with the Celtics if he got up there. I'm like, crap, I don't, they're already enough of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't need a Lurie backed powerhouse pain in the ass up there.
Right? And then all of a sudden you have a
all the time.
conflict of interest because it's like you've got him owning the Eagles, and then all of a sudden he's got your NBA team, and it's a totally different NBA team.
And he's learned from every single one of his trials and tribulations from the Eagles. So the Celtics are just going to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, because why wouldn't he just go do that again?
We're going to the Super Bowl, Glenn, just so you know.
It's not fake news.
Yeah, we're already on the way.
It's not fake news. No, they're there, I think.
Oh, did they get there?
They are already there. Yeah, they left this
Should be.
morning. Yep.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's a fun flight.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I asked you guys before. There's a guy on Twitter, Scooter Magruder.
Yeah.
Who does the NFC East weekly meetings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 guys sitting around a table, each one is representing a team. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
Initially, so it's very funny. I saw him before the NFC Championship game. He was watching the Eagles-Rams game, and at the end of the game, when the Eagles won, the realization hit him. He's like, oh, no matter who wins the NFC Championship game, I have to do the NFC East meetings till the Super Bowl. Damn
it all.
Yep.
Sucks to be him. There you go.
But seriously, it's a funny skit to watch.
It's cool.
If you have a couple minutes,
Yeah.
it's cool to check out.
There you go.
All right, moving on to topic 2. Speaking of what the hell,
Yeah.
It's a little bit of.
Maybe there'll be a what the hell segment that we'll throw in there now. Good grief.
yeah, what the hell, or as I said in the intro, the society is going to hell.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
An elementary school principal, I repeat, in
Yes.
Florida,
Yeah.
was arrested after 100 children were found at an alcohol-infused party she hosted, police said.
Oh.
Elizabeth Hill Brodigan, the 47-year-old principal of Roosevelt Elementary School in Cocoa Beach, was arrested on January 19th after police were called for a reported house party. When officers arrived... I'm sorry, when officers arrived? Okay, independent. Good spelling.
Is that what it was spelled in the article?
Oh, when officers
arrived. Great. Okay.
I got the editors from the New York Post going.
Wait a minute. What the heck? I thought it was a little bit of an error there. Yeah.
When officers arrived, they found more than 100 kids dressed in matching T-shirts. Many of them were consuming alcohol that was available in coolers inside the house. One child was suffering from an alcohol-related medical event on the principal's lawn.
Oh.
The kid was so heavily intoxicated that the Brevard County Fire Rescue was called to treat the child, police said. Further, an intoxicated Roosevelt Elementary teacher, Carly Anderson, approached the officers at the scene, telling them she was a teacher and had been at the party, police said. Brevard Public Schools told WESH, I guess it's a radio station, in a statement that both women had been placed on administrative leave.
And should be fired is the end of that sentence. Yeah.
Right. According to her bio on the elementary school's website, Hill Brodigan was once awarded Teacher of the Year. I have had the pleasure to serve the students, Freudian slip, and parents of Brevard County for the last 23 years. Students, families, and staff are very close to my heart. I really enjoy what I do, her bio states. Okay, corrupting teenagers is great. Isn't it, John?
Somebody else wrote that bio, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely not from her.
Yeah.
It's just this. Welcome to the Drek of humanity. This is disgusting. Like,
I mean, this is essentially like our age, John, that's hosting a party like this.
and there are 100 kids in your chain of custody because you were a trusted person. Why is everybody that's in a trusted position an asshole? Can I because that's what I see in society.
That's a great
Everybody
question.
that seems to be in a power position that has children under their watch seems to be an idiot.
Yeah.
And this is another prime example of it.
Another example of it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what can be done to try and rectify this going forward. I mean, now it's like if I'm in a school district like that, or living in a school district like that, that's got to be an independent investigation of the school board, and then also of her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all of it. Like email, text, or cell phone, whatever the case may be, whatever communication she had to try and pull this off, which she did.
Because it's either state or federal funding, because how do you get T-shirts and how do you get them all together?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just trust me, that's not on her dime.
Yeah. By the way, we did have some terrific mugshots of We'll post it like right down there in 3, 2.
No, I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
You put them on your side. Damn.
Yeah. No, I didn't even throw them up there. Good thing you stopped.
This is what an idiot looks like. This is what an idiot looks like.
This is what it is. Yeah. We're not going to post it on there. We're not going to.
Now, why is Congress up there?
I have several questions.
Okay.
Ask them away, please.
First off, where are the parents? Like,
keep going.
Yep. That's one right answer.
Teenage son or teenage daughter, you're going to your old principal's house.
Why?
Like,
yeah.
That's weird. You want to tell me you're going on a field trip? You're going, like, my daughter's involved in, it's an organization called Teens Against Drugs and Alcohol. They put on these things. So last Friday night they went to it's called Beat Street. I don't know what it is. Yeah. They got stuff to do there. So they do fun stuff.
Yep.
To stay away from shit like this.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so I know they're going there and they're being well taken care of. You're going to somebody's house.
Yeah.
That's a little shady.
That's a little.
But that's where I think she's totally at fault, because the T-shirts and all that, there had to be funded some other way.
Yeah.
So was it the school district literally missing on a predator? Because that's what it sounds like.
It sounds like to me, because once again, now you've got 100 kids at the house. You're telling me
that's well organized.
That's well organized. They all knew what was going to happen there.
Oh yeah.
Because this doesn't happen. And then it's another question. How about the neighbors? Like, 100 teenagers.
Yeah.
I don't know what the salary is of an elementary school principal in Florida, but I can't imagine it buys you a 6,000 square foot house where you can safely tuck these teenagers away all in 3 rooms.
That was in Broward County, Florida, right?
Brevard
County. Got it.
Brevard
okay,
County,
I'll look that up here real quick.
You'd notice 100 kids hanging out of windows, and I think I'd be calling the cops. Maybe that's how the cops got there, but
possibly, yeah.
Something also tells me this isn't her first rodeo with this.
Yeah. I would
it seems like it got more organized.
This is actually the county that has the John F. Kennedy Space Center in it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah. Very interesting in that regard. 10th most populated county in Florida, 606,000 people that live in the county and whatnot. Yeah, and it's pretty much like, as you would expect, it's right on the eastern coast of Florida, just right up in where the Space Center is, right down from Orlando, basically to the east. So who knows? I mean, but Steve, to your point, it's like you got 100 people showing up at your house. It's not like you have a 6,000 square foot mansion, right? I mean, as an elementary school principal, you're probably living in some sort of a 2-story, maybe pushing 3-story house. But even there, you've got 100 people. You know they're going to be on the front and the back lawn.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it must have been an absolute disaster zone in there. And it's like, if you're right next door, you're definitely calling, especially if the music's cranked up or whatever the case may be. That's a disaster, absolute disaster. And I hope she gets fired. I hope her and the teacher, who I love how she announced to the cops, "I'm a teacher." That's great. Really,
good job.
Yeah, really
That's
good job.
not where I want to hear I'm a teacher.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
a teacher.
Yay, good for you.
It's good. I was at the party. It was fun. Lots of teenagers getting drunk. It was good.
Oh.
Like, and these people are complete and utter scumbags. You are supplying alcohol to kids who are underage.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Ruining them. And to the point where somebody had to get medical treatment.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Alcohol poisoning is no joke. Yeah, that's awful.
It's awful. And then what really disturbed me was they've been arrested. They each face one felony count of child neglect and one misdemeanor charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Oh, that has to be brought up.
And the principal also faces one misdemeanor count of holding an open house party.
Oh, DeSantis better get on that immediately.
Yeah,
that needs to get changed immediately.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think if at anything else, I mean, with all this stuff that was witnessed and all that kind of stuff, that the administrative leave stuff, I'm sorry, you're gone. Like, you're fired. You're done. There's no reason to hold a party like that. I know innocent until proven guilty. I get it, John. I'm not trying to anticipate
you need to. I'm perfectly fine with administrative leave without pay.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like that. I think that's a great first consequence.
Yeah.
And that's what they got. So it's a great first consequence. Sit at home and figure out. Treat them like a 2-year-old because that's how they're acting.
Oh yeah.
Sit at home and think about what you did, and then we'll throw the book at you later when we get our all of our evidence.
Yeah, all the crap together. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it seems to me you're right. We need more charges here because this is woefully insufficient.
Yeah.
Assuming she's guilty, which I assume because the kids were found drinking on her house property with her there. I'm not sure what other evidence you need, but
I don't know. Yeah.
This is not something that deters this type of behavior. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it definitely doesn't.
You need to absolutely throw the book at them for this. This is outrageous.
And especially with only a couple of misdemeanor charges and one count of a felony, that's not good.
One count. There were 100 teenagers there.
Yeah.
One count?
Yeah.
It should be 100.
Yeah.
It should be.
It really should be.
Absolutely. Or if the felony count is for the kid who was alcohol poisoned, okay, how about 99 misdemeanor charges for contributing to the delinquency of every single other minor who was on the property?
That would make sense.
Yes.
So, Mr. Tracy, while you were out for your bio break, I shared with Matt, I just saw a report from Shams that now the Sacramento Kings are finalizing a deal that would send De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs.
Yes.
And would move Chicago's Zach LaVine to Sacramento.
Oh, interesting.
So everybody's playing video game GM in the NBA the last couple of days, except for, trading Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
He's stuck where he's at.
So what is going? Are we trying to get rid of the entertaining good players, or are we just putting them on California so we can just pry it off and then push it out into the ocean?
I mean, you might as well at this point, right?
Right.
Well, they got water, so who knows what's going to happen? Maybe they're like, send those guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. They'll be entertaining from afar.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like that deal at least makes more sense than whatever the hell Dallas just did.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Dallas.
And I can't like LA, so this really sucks because I really like watching Luka play basketball. And
not anymore.
And he's doing it with LeBron.
I really hope he gets tendonitis in both elbows and just keeps throwing the ball at LeBron's head. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what just occurred?
Oh, you're open LeBron, ow! And he just hits him right in the head.
Could you imagine if someone owned simultaneously the Yankees and the Lakers?
Oh,
that would be insufferable.
Yeah, or the Dodgers and the Lakers. Even worse. But yeah. Oh.
I was wondering if it's like against SEC regulations or something to own multiple teams in one city.
Ooh.
Like could you own simultaneously the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers all at once? That would seem to be a monopoly.
I would think, like, from an auditing perspective alone, that would be awful because it's like you got to make sure that those revenues are kept separate. You can't move one league's revenue over to another. That kind of a deal. So yeah,
you'd have more shell companies than Joe Biden. Jesus.
Yeah. And if you would like a shell company, you should visit our website, TooNoobsTalking.wordpress.com.
I don't know about you, but I don't sell shows. It's hard to get out there.
At least you'll know what John Tracy's into if you visit the website, because it says right there on one of the pages. We also have, you could watch our episodes on the website, going all the way back to 140. If you want to see something before that, you got to go to YouTube. Our website will take you there. Watch it there. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Glenn, we would like some people other than Glenn to comment, because Mr. Fake News Craig over here is, he's tearing his hair out from having to answer all this nonsense.
Yes.
But anyway, back to the website. When I put a new episode, and by the way, I put 226 up there. It's up there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
When I put a new episode on the website, you will be notified if you drop your email into that little box on the homepage and hit whatever the button says there. I don't know.
Probably subscribe or
subscribe, maybe.
Yes, submit, subscribe.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it says subscribe and not spam me. But please do that, because we want to get the word out. We like talking to each other and talking for you folks.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of, gentlemen, I just happened to look at our YouTube page. We cannot thank our subscribers enough. Yeah. We are at 104 subscribers.
Yeah, that happened the other day.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Yeah.
Nice. John created 3 accounts and signed up.
I've been busy. I don't know.
Maybe he had a chatbot help him. Speaking of that, topic 3.
Oh.
It's all
funny how these things work.
Giant circle.
Or how they... Or there might be an error. What?
I totally improvised that. I don't know what you're talking about. French AI chatbot, a French language artificial intelligence chatbot backed by the French government.
Oh, that's trustworthy.
Has been taken offline after providing nonsensical answers to simple mathematical equations and even recommending that one user eat cow's eggs.
Please read the cow's eggs explanation. It's incredible.
Oh, the model named Lucy was released prematurely. After Lucy was launched, users took to social media to share its erroneous answers, including a response to a user query asking the chatbot to tell them about cow's eggs. Cow's eggs.
This thing will be hard.
Also known as chicken's eggs, are edible eggs produced by cows. Cow's eggs are a source of protein and nutrients and are considered to be a healthy and nutritious food. Also asked to multiply 5 by parentheses 3 plus 2. The model gave an answer of 17 instead of 25. And Lucy also said that the square root of a goat is 1.
I agree with that one. Let's not go crazy.
One thing at a time, right, Sean? One step at a time.
Lucy has been backed by French President Emmanuel Macron as part of his France 2030 investment program.
Oh, boy.
Which includes a wide range of products worth a total of 54 billion euros. Well, you better go back to the drawing board, Mr. Macron, on Lucy, because damn.
Right.
I thought that man was dumb for other reasons. Just gonna add this too. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
We all remember 2020.
All right, so this one ranks right up there. It's got to be in the clip show at the end of the year for sure. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Cow's eggs, also known as chicken's eggs,
are edible and they are filled with protein. Oh my goodness gracious.
These chatbots are no matter where they pop up in the world, they're, Steve, your great quote, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. But we've learned something new recently about these, is when they don't know, they lie.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like humans. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
So we should get more of these, is what I think. We need more of these because, we don't have enough humans doing this. We should get some automated.
We have to infect artificial intelligence too. Which, by the way, this makes me like really happy. The fact that any Terminator that comes out of this is going to be an instant like hilarious robot that's going to like come up with all these like weird nonsensical facts. We're not even close to them taking over the world, gents. Not even
because
close.
they're just gonna lie about it.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I don't have a knife behind my back. All right, dude.
Right.
Now give me all your cow's eggs. I see the chicken in there. Give me the cow's eggs from the chicken.
They're speaking in Trump at this point. It's fucking bizarre.
Oh my gosh. 54 billion euros, right? Is that what the article said?
54 billion with a B euros.
That's a few dollars.
Now that's not just for Lucy. That's assorted product, assorted projects.
Which makes me feel real comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is. We just had a client asking us about the AI programs we may or may not be using and what may be viable.
Yep.
And then I see this kind of crap, but I'm like, we are not there.
Yeah. We're not even close to there. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's like I talked with a couple of computer software developers for dinner a couple of weeks ago. Or what was it? Last week at my church of small group. And I told them about the story. Remember, guys, when we were talking about Samsung people were copying, like Samsung software developers were copying their own legit Samsung code out on ChatGPT.
Oh yeah,
out in the open, and so they posted it there, and it went like it was like all this proprietary information of Samsung was out in the open, and anybody could get it. And their immediate reaction was, "Oh my gosh, I really hope I don't do that at all." They were so concerned. And rightfully so. I mean, this is a technology that is in its infancy, and by infancy, I mean 2 days old in terms of technology.
I think the sperm's still trying to find the egg, frankly.
That might be true too. Yeah, there's a lack of conception. That's a better point. I like that, Steve. Yeah.
It's not ready to use.
It's not.
And I beg younger people to don't use it in your jobs. Don't use it.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to think that it's going to make you look smarter because it's going to make you look like an idiot. I play around with it with sports.
Yep.
Just to see, because I think it could be a great tool for a bunch of things later on in life. I think it'll be a great piece where you could put a new person into a training program that could give you a ton of information in a long period of time, which that they could literally have at the finger, but that's years and years down the line.
Oh yeah.
So I play around with it in sports because I want to be involved in that years down the line. So I use that as my little fun game, and they can't get that. They can't get that right.
Yeah.
And that's basic information that's on the internet that you can look up on NFL.com.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I would say don't use it unless you are willing to invest the time to
read it. Yeah.
Proofread and fact check it.
Yes.
Please.
Because John says it's lying. The technical term for it is hallucination.
Yes.
Which
is lying. It's internet lying. It's internet lying.
I think they're feeding the AI bots mushrooms or something to.
Yes. Yes. It is not even good for basic stuff. So that is my warning. It's not good yet. I would love it to be, because it could be something you can implement. Someone who's on the cusp of this can make a lot of money doing, stuff like that. And the fact that you have to look in the mirror and realize that it isn't there yet. This is the companies that are rushing this, the countries that are rushing this. That's scary to me because we're not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean on the user interface, so I don't want to hear anybody on the inside, because we don't know what you're doing. Yeah. I'm talking about on the outside interface. It's not there yet.
It's not there yet. Yeah.
I mean, do you think somebody was in there training this thing to be like, when you see the word cow, you replace it with chicken?
or they left out what the animals' names were, so they just said,
kind of like a Mad Lib.
Yeah, almost like leaving little blanks.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is Mad Libs.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like, because all the information isn't there, and that's why I quoted the garbage in, garbage out. You said with the robot to touch the butt. last year. Like garbage in, garbage out. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time you send me an AI article, I just think about you saying garbage in, garbage out, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
We're not that smart, so boom, here's our AI.
Yeah.
I'm with Matt talking about Mad Libs, because it's like you probably get the prompt and it's like, eat blank eggs. Enter name of animal.
Yeah.
Cow.
Yeah, because it's
Generator. Cow.
A cow
Cow's
produces eggs, and
the question
like,
is
wait,
why.
yeah, right.
Right.
But we
what
know
do you
that
mean
they
a cow's eggs? What's a cow's egg? Random number generator. Blank, another animal. The chicken. Same thing. Hey, in case you didn't hear, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Woo!
And they're doing it on cow's eggs.
When did that happen?
I don't know. Ask Lucy.
Okay.
It's the return of Chris and Kyle, by the way.
Oh, there you
1954.
go. I have nothing else.
When was
better to say.
Roswell? That's a question.
That's a good-
47.
47? 47? Okay.
Yeah, 1947.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I know that.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for being my friend. That's all I have to say.
You're welcome. Well, with the Super Bowl coming up, we decided we're going to go for another round of Super Bowl trivia. Matt is the quiz master. He shall be asking the questions. So I turn it over to Fake News Craig.
Fake news. There you go.
Nice.
You better
Glenn.
not lie on these questions.
No, there's no lying. Like I said,
Okay.
Steve, you can trust me. Glenn.
Can I, though?
Okay,
Well,
so
for-
all my answers to the questions are Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Can I leave?
No, and Matt, yes.
Well, how about we lead off with this first question, John, before you decide to bail on me here.
I'm just joking with you.
Yeah, I know. Who has the best career completion percentage in the Super Bowl? It's 70% in the entire. throughout his
Is that, it's career, so
Career.
over the course. Okay.
over the course?
Is there a minimum number of games that this has to have been
I would
played?
say, looking at this list, minimum number would be 3.
Okay, so it's somebody who's played in more.
Yeah,
Multiple
3
Super
or more
Bowls.
Super Bowls. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Troy Aikman.
For some reason, I have to say Troy Aikman.
I also have to say Troy Aikman.
You
Yeah.
both would be correct. How about that? Troy
Well, the
Aikman,
Buffalo Bills didn't stop him either year. So.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, and they practically handed the ball off to Emmitt Smith.
Yes, and that was my weird way that I got to it. Is they ran the ball a lot, so
Yeah.
if he was accurate with his passes, he would be fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
70% was the
70% completion percentage career in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Not
Pretty
shocking.
damn good. I mean, he was a
Not shocking.
damn
at
good
all.
quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. All right, this one. How much did a ticket cost to attend the very first Super Bowl way, way back in 1967?
$11.
Your choices are $8, $12, $35, $20.
I wanted 11. I'm gonna say 8.
I'll say 12.
Steve is correct. $12.
Yeah, see,
But I
knew it
will
couldn't be
give.
the lowest one.
That was fantastic, though, John. You almost nailed it with a pure
That's
guess
very
there.
true.
That was very good. Okay. Since the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, gentlemen, who threw the Philly special touchdown pass?
Come on.
It was Trey Burton.
Oh, yeah.
It was Trey Burton.
Both
yeah.
of you got that right. Yep.
That was a question? Come on.
Yeah. I was just
Who
throwing that out
was
there.
the snap to?
Snap was to not Smallwood. Corey Clement.
Corey Clement.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wendell Smallwood is jailed for something.
Yeah.
Fraud or something. So we don't want to talk about him.
We got a bunch of those guys
Exactly.
from prior teams.
He wasn't on our tier list.
No, I wonder why. Anyway,
Well, we had other criminals on the tier list that made the.
we had a known
Never the-
racist in there. We had all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Josh Huff.
Yeah. Literally. Anyway.
I don't know why we didn't think of that in the moment. Damn.
We weren't thinking. That was the thing. Anyway, here's another question, gentlemen. Terrell Davis scored 3 rushing touchdowns, of course, in Super Bowl 32, helped the Broncos to victory.
With headache.
Who is tied with him? So, who scored 3 rushing touchdowns in a Super Bowl, along with Terrell Davis?
Sure as hell isn't Marshawn Lynch.
Is it Emmitt Smith, Tom Rathman, Eddie George, or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
John?
I don't remember 2022 very well, so I'm just going to go with Steve at this point.
Yeah, both are correct. Yes, it was Jalen Hurts, of course, scoring 3 rushing touchdowns. Saquon
I only knew
should hopefully
that.
do 4. That'd be great.
Right. I only knew that because I don't know where I heard it, but I just heard that Hurts had 3 touchdowns in that last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Barkley's going to break that. Let's hope.
Here's another one, gentlemen. How many footballs are used on average during a Super Bowl game?
All of them.
Yes. so they ship in 17,000. So I'm going with 17,001.
Your choices are 12, 54, 75, or 120.
Those are very arbitrary numbers.
Yeah.
I'm going with 54 because it just stands out.
Okay. Steve?
I think it would be slightly higher. I would think 75.
Both of you are incorrect.
Was it 120?
It's 120. Yeah.
They just
120 footballs.
overdo it. See, they just overdo it.
Like, how many times? Like, my God. It's almost like, I remember, like, totally different sport, of course, but with baseball, every single pitch, it seemed like, was getting thrown to the ball girls. You know, and it's like, what's going on there? I don't quite understand that. But anyway.
Remember when they used to use a ball for like a whole inning?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Back in my day.
I mean, I thought the pitchers liked it because they could kind of scuff it and make it do all kinds of stuff.
MLB hates pitchers, so that makes
that's
sense.
True. Yeah, that's true. But I also find it annoying that they pull that big giant net up behind the goalposts when they kick a field goal, so nobody gets a souvenir. It's bull.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Yeah.
Especially if you have
120 footballs. Right, exactly.
Damn.
Right? It's like, I think that would be more fun to catch a football like that. It would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Greedy organization.
Yeah, exactly. The Vince Lombardi Trophy, gents. Of course, we have that. We're going for a second championship. Glenn. Weighs how many pounds, roughly?
Before or after Gronk dented it?
Before.
And didn't Tom Brady throw it from both the boat or
Yeah,
something?
he threw it from yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because he was entirely too wasted.
How much would you think that would weigh if you had to guesstimate?
Do we know if it's hollow or not?
It is made out of sterling silver. I don't know if it's hollow.
I don't think it's hollow.
I don't think it is.
I've been close enough to it where I don't think it's like
I think it's
a
legit
light object. Yeah, it's not a light object. Just from watching people pick it up and put it down.
I think I did see them in Pittsburgh, but they were obviously behind glass. They weren't like, "Hey,
check this out." Yeah,
I never got to touch it, but I did see someone pick it up and put it. Take it out.
I've seen it
on there,
and I've seen it at the Pro Football Hall of Fame when I went out there a couple of years ago.
I'll go with I'm with John. I think it probably is a little hefty. I'll go 8 pounds.
Okay, John.
I was gonna go like 11 pounds.
Okay, well, Steve is the closest. It's officially 6 3/4 pounds. It's roughly 1/5 of a Stanley Cup. A Stanley Cup is 35 pounds.
Yeah.
So this is about it's about 1/5 of that size, basically.
Excuse me. You mean the Stanley Cup?
The Stanley Cup. Did I say a Stanley Cup?
You said a Stanley Cup. The Stanley.
The only Stanley Cup.
The Stanley Cup.
Right. Does anyone else find it odd that Utah can't use the Yeti name because the cups, yet the Stanley Cups can be the Stanley Cup, even though it's Stanley.
Right? Like, whatever.
You would know more about that than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, I think it's dumb. Utah Yetis, favorite hockey team ever.
I'm hoping they vote for Mammoth. I like Mammoth.
Yeah, I think that's been
I'm okay
brought
with
back.
that too.
Yeah. And Outlaws was brought back too on the ballot, and I'm like, that's
Yeah, but the other option was also Hockey Club, and I'm like, if
no.
fans pick that,
oh please God no,
you need to be removed from the NHL.
Yeah, you should automatically have that stripped and move back to Arizona, go back to the Pagula Arena, wherever the hell they played. Anyway, Super Bowl weekend, gents, is the second biggest grilling week of the year in America. What's the first?
July 4th.
4th of July.
July 4th, yeah. 4th of July, absolutely. Yeah.
Labor Day.
So the next question, how many millions of Americans order takeout for the Super Bowl?
Wait a minute. Let me go back to that question for a second. You said grilling day.
Grilling, yeah. Second.
Who the hell is grilling for the Super Bowl?
I'm not.
It's freaking 30 degrees outside.
Well, you in the Northeast, yes, but you're thinking of people in the South. They're probably having outdoor Super Bowl parties. You know, and what are you doing? You're grilling out there, and you're probably doing an indoor grill or whatever, like I have, right back in there in the kitchen. So come on.
Order a pizza.
Speaking of,
support your local pizzeria.
How many millions of Americans order takeout for the Super Bowl, gentlemen? Your choices are 40, 50, 60, or 48.
48, because that's just a weird ass number.
48, yeah.
That does sound like a weird ass number. Yeah, you guys are correct.
And that's probably weekly. 48,000 people order takeout.
Right.
In this unhealthy country.
So of those 48 million Americans, 60% of them order what? Wings, pizza, hamburgers, or pasta?
It's got to be wings.
Pizza.
Pizza is correct.
That's weird. I like the buffalo wing.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, after the game is over, what product experiences an uptick of 20% in sales?
After the game is over?
After the game is over.
Birth control. Depends if your team wins or not.
That's what I was going to say. What product, consumer product,
and
goes
acids
up in sales?
Yes, John.
No.
And acid is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good
that much takeout, that much alcohol. Everybody's buying Tums the next time. Just again.
I don't remember. I forget what show it was, but they made a whole thing about everybody's watching the Super Bowl, and then they were waiting for something to happen because right at halftime, everybody goes to the bathroom, and all the toilets flush simultaneously. And I'm blanking on what it was about now, but they were waiting for that moment of the flush to do something.
I vaguely remember what you're talking about. I don't know what it was for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, gents, 3 more, and they're all stats and football related, of course. Who holds the record for the best career passer rating in a Super Bowl? So all quarterbacks, of course. Best career passer rating: Tom Brady, Jim Plunkett, Joe Montana, or Terry Bradshaw?
It wasn't Bradshaw. He sucks.
At commentating.
Why do you think they have him in the studio?
Good fill in the blank there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of those 4?
You put the emphasis on Joe Montana, so I think
Did I?
And he also won a bunch of Super Bowls by blowout, so I'll go Joe Montana.
John, Joe Montana for you? Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Okay. You guys are right. Joe Montana it is.
Well, when you read them out and there's like blah 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 blah, Joe Montana or blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, I would be a little bit more forceful in other areas, but I just wanted to emphasize that because unlike people that think that Tom Brady is the GOAT, Joe Montana had the better career passer rating. 127.8. Tom Brady, 97.7. Ooh, Tom Brady.
What was this kicker's name? Adam Vinatieri? He won all the Super Bowls.
Yeah, exactly.
He won all the Super Bowls.
That's right.
Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Or he is. I don't know.
Yep. All right.
What was Sirianni's quote? He's like, every great quarterback is, they don't throw to shit. It's like, who was Joe Montana throwing to? Oh, he had Jerry Rice. Oh, how about that?
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, speaking of the 49ers, there are 7 players that scored 3 touchdowns in 1 Super Bowl game. 3 of them were from the San Francisco 49ers. Can you tell me who they were.
Ricky Williams
You're close.
or Waters.
Ricky Waters was one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Jerry Rice had to be another one.
Jerry
Yeah.
Rice twice, of course. We covered that last year. Who's the
Was
third?
it a tight end?
Nope.
Tom Rathman.
No.
John Taylor.
No. It's a running back, though. Steve's on the right track.
Oh.
Running back.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Craig?
Yes. Roger
Okay.
Craig. No relation. Sorry.
You
was-
wish.
Well, I do wish.
Yeah,
but-
he's way better athlete.
That's very true. I'm not going to lie. Glenn. Anyway. Final one, and this is throwback since everybody seems to love to hand the ball to the running back this year. It's been great to see a running back resurgence. Who has the most career rushing attempts in the Super Bowl? Choices are Franco Harris, Emmitt Smith, John Riggins, or Thurman Thomas.
I'm going Thurman because he 4 in a row, right? He was in
That's
those
legit.
4.
See, I was thinking that,
Mhm.
but they
That's
were
what I'm thinking.
blowouts in 3 of the 4.
Yeah,
so
so
I would think they'd
possibly
be
not.
throwing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be Emmett. It could be Thurman or Emmett.
Yeah.
I'll go Thurman. You go Emmett.
Say the names again.
So it's Franco Harris, Thurman Thomas, Emmitt Smith, John Riggins.
See, but Franco Harris probably played in 4 Super Bowls,
Uh-huh.
right?
He
Yeah,
did.
he
He
did.
did.
And the
but that-
Steelers probably ran a shit ton back in the South. I'm going to go with him.
You're right. It's Franco.
Oh, nice. Nice.
100,
See how logic works?
101 times he carried the ball. The next closest was Emmett at 70.
Okay.
wow.
So it just goes to show you like the differences between the two. That would mean like Emmett, if they made it back to another Super Bowl, which coincidentally was in 1995, I think it
Five.
was. Yeah. That was a long time ago. That was during the VCR era. Glenn. He would have to, just to tie Franco, carry the ball 31 times. Just to tie him. Which he probably could have done. Not saying he wouldn't, but fortunately he never did make it back
That's
to the
an
Super Bowl.
attainable. I mean,
Yeah.
it's high.
Yeah.
But I could see if you were in a game, I could see you could hand it off 31 times.
It could
If
probably be done.
Saquon Barkley went to 4 Super Bowls in a row, right?
Yeah.
He would probably explode that record.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Yeah.
he touches that. Yeah, because he touches the ball so much.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all the questions I had, gents. Well done. I don't know who won that.
I don't think we weren't keeping score.
Yeah, I'll give it to John.
Whoa!
And I will
I'm
just hand it
joking.
to you, Steve.
There you go.
You are officially Matt fake news Craig from now on. I deem it so.
You're
Damn.
thrown out of the family. Look at
Oh,
that.
wow,
I didn't know
okay.
anything.
Let the rivalry begin.
It's renewed.
It's
not
renewed,
begin.
damn
It's
it.
renewed. You son of a bitch.
All right, Glenn, comment down below. It doesn't matter.
I'll take you both on. Come on.
I might throw a comment in myself now. Damn.
I'm out.
Oh.
Get the gravy train going here. Damn. All right. Well, thanks to Matt, fake news, Matt's super bowel trivia. That concludes episode 227 of Two Noobs Talking Go Birds. We will see you next week, Go Birds, for episode 228, where we're probably recording before the Super Bowl takes place. So our next
We better
episode,
be.
our next episode won't even cover it, Go Birds.
Well, hopefully it will.
So you're gonna have the delayed reaction to the Super Bowl from
Yeah.
us. Hopefully it's a joyous one.
Hmm.
If not, there will be heads rolling.
If they win, we will interrupt next week's episode with us screaming and yelling into the camera just in spots.
Yeah, expect a lot of
I
Kelly
like it.
Green or Midnight Green next week.
I like it. And if they lose,
I'll blame
We're not
Glenn.
even doing a podcast ever again.
I'll blame Glenn. I'll blame
If-
Glenn. It's all his
if
fault.
we lose, we will spam people with email. It's just I'm gonna make.
And I will just curse Patrick Mahomes for an entire hour.
Show us your voodoo doll.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
You have the voodoo doll.
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I will steal Taylor Swift albums and return them back to Walmart. For years. I'm not even talking one single year.
Nice.
For years.
Nice.
I will take everything away from them.
I like it.
Don't hurt me.
Screw the Chiefs, screw Taylor Swift, go Birds, and get out.